Okay, this question is, what do you think about the amount of information that games on Facebook, such as Farmville, demand to be played? They ask for access to friends list user IDs and any other public information. Is this asking too much for a game? Um, I think that as long as it's voluntary, it's fine. I mean, if someone is stupid enough to give a game access to all their friends, or if someone trusts the game enough, then that's their problem, not the game's. As, but if the game sort of takes that information and requires it to be played, then that's not good, and that's not even the purpose of a game. Like, although I understand why games do that, they want you to get all your friends to play the game, and like there's J-Force, they make XBLIG games, Xbox indie games. Um, what their first indie game, Avatar Showdown, it automatically sent all their other friends a message telling them to try the game. If a player just pressed a button on the option that says tell your friends, which is probably too tricky. I mean, like, it should have to verify that instead of just doing it. Um, Although it did work. J-Force's game became the best-selling game of the year or something, or second best-selling game of the year, just from that trick. I mean, that's why people spam. That's why people do these things, because it works, even though it's annoying. So you could either avoid doing these things or do them and be thought of as badly while having a lot of money. So which way you do is depends on the person. You could certainly make a lot of money without doing these social aspects and these tricks, like Super Mario Brothers 3 or whatever back in 1988 or whenever it was released. Didn't do any of these things. Didn't have Facebook, didn't exist. The internet hardly existed. The World Wide Web didn't exist. But it still managed to sell like 18 million, 20 million, something like that. A lot of million copies just from word of mouth. It didn't need to automate the word of mouth for you. So my advice to game developers would be to not do it, even if you're making a Facebook game, because it sort of is lazy, because it means the game doesn't have to be good enough for people to want to tell their friends on their own, for you to have a way in the game for them to tell their friends. But I think within reason, I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, like one example is Super Meat Boy for XBLA or Steam. It has your high score list, and it has the high score lists of every one of your friends, so you can compare your scores in the game to your friends list. I think that is okay, and I actually like that, because I like to see, like, I'm ahead of Mr. Pedunkian and behind Super Joe in Pac-Man DX or whatever. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing for games to do, because it adds value to the game. So I think that asking information about the player is fine as long as it adds value to the game and isn't just done as a marketing trick to promote the game. Okay, bye.